Journal entry, 30th of the month of November, in the year of our Lord, 1081. Last summer, we had fought alongside the men of Duke Robert III at the siege of Langres. Sieges are always dirty business, but we had to make haste, as the enemy was counter-sieging Mâcon Castle in the bishopric of Cluny, from where my beloved hailed, and I had not received news of her whereabouts or well-being. Thus, we rushed south, once the siege was won, with a small party ahead of the main body of our combined armies. And to say I arrived in time may be understating it. The enemy army had fled upon hearing of our approach, but villains had seized the opportunity to infiltrate the castle, steal and murder as they could in the confusion. Yet I did arrive, only to see my beloved being overpowered by such a scoundrel. He was no match for my blade, and I cut him down where he stood. Peyronel and I rode back to our war camp together, and though battles were yet to be fought, Brother Thibault wed us but the very next day. We fulfilled our contract with Duke Robert of Burgundy, my forces playing an important role in intercepting enemy reinforcements. We shall further increase their numbers, and maybe one day fulfill our duty to the king. We have the position of Master of Arms available now, so Radomir, my knight and friend, shall become our Master of Arms, and that's going to increase overall men-at-arms damage and toughness quite a bit, so that's a good thing. A giant in position, and we are probably going to make our move towards the capital to see. Maybe we'll pick up a contract or two on the way, but we do have to make some more coin as we are upgrading the camp. Lockwagon is under construction, but there are a few more things that will be in need of upgrading here before we can really get to where we want to be in terms of military strength. We currently have 100 Huscarls from the north, as well as 100 heavy French cavalry on our side, but we do need more coin to get these numbers up, and there are a fair few things that we can do. So let's have a quick look at the castle and see at the local training grounds. I have a quick training session with Richard, but the sparring was inefficient. And we still are in need of more knights, but obviously these guys are not particularly great. Anybody in the tavern? Let's see who is up for any recruitment. Yeah, no. Oh, we have another Enguerrand. He would be quite capable. He is a strong open terrain specialist and a hunter. But he is getting on there in age. So while he is brave, calm, and a bit of gluttonous, he is getting on there in age. However, how much does he want? 225? No, that's a bit much. We're good on supplies. So let's have a quick look if the town crier has anything. Transport contracts, maybe. Let's see what they have. If it goes in our direction, that is. Let's hear it. Let's see where they want to go. Nothing really of interest. They all wanted Far East. So let's return to the court of King Philip and see what news are in the capital and the war against the English, and if there is any deeds for us to be done. We are going to have to customize the route a little bit to make sure that we're bypassing the more dangerous terrain, although there's not an awful lot that we can do here. I think the forest would be even worse, so that's fine, and then we'll travel north here. All right, apply that, and we will start moving our camp. I am still somewhat afflicted by bad humors, but we also we have a fair amount of a fair amount of people that we have assisted who could help us out with things. So there might be an opportunity there as well to gather some more coin. Let us see. Unigild has a pet cat, and we have moved to Paris. So let's see. We could definitely get some coin. The bishop, Prince Bishop, is not in any mood for that. The mayor, he would accept. So let's get some coin from him, and we have another mayor who would also not accept this. We could ask the Prince Bishop Rogier for another tournament, and that would be an opportunity to gain some more fame. However, we are already at Exalted Among Men, so I think we're pretty good at this point. We'll probably just start out by visiting the castle grounds, and I am coming with the Thierry, so let's up to the training grounds and have a quick training session. But Thierry became injured, unfortunately, so that has not been successful either. I really do have to mind my own strength when we're doing these sort of things. Stories, we're all done. Anybody up for recruitment? No more villainous women, please. A forgiving opportunist, but she is no, not really. Let's not do that. So not much has changed, but a plague again has broken out nearby. The William's cuffs, obviously brought in by the nefarious English. So we do have. We do not probably want to linger, given that we have not been able to gain an audience at the court of the king, and troops are fighting besieging the invading English. But it's only the English king who has been asking for help, not the French. It appears that King Philip is not in a shape to do so. However, he is ailing. He is of poor health. He's been afflicted by the consumption. The Queen is currently in prison. I'm not sure of what for, but she is also afflicted by the Great Pox. So it looks like my beautiful France, unfortunately, seems to be falling apart as we look on. And given that we haven't been able to gain any audience from the king, we may as well make our way elsewhere and avoid the plague, and see maybe somebody else is in need of our assistance. There has been a call from the Spanish, but I feel like we don't have the troops for such an elongated campaign just yet. So we may make our way as France falls apart, and local dukes are struggling to keep grips on the situation. We might make our way south. Burgundy, the kingdom of Burgundy is independent at this point. So we might make our way a little south and see if there's anything else for us to do there. In our journey south, we shall first stop at Châtellerault to see the memory of the Battle of Tours, which happened quite a few hundred years ago, but it's a famous battle after all. So we'll be moving our camp there. We'll see if the locals have any gainful employment for us as we make our ways. There have been some calls. There have been some calls for assistance from uprising in the Duchy of Burgundy, but a competing kingdom of Burgundy under King Bertrand the Proud has actually arisen as well. I woke this morning and observed the first rays of sunshine. It took me a moment to realize I had slept soundly for the first time in weeks. I did not wake up coughing once. It has been a long road back to health, but I find myself in its warm embrace once more. So I'm no longer ill, which is great. But that said, we are making some coin as we pass And as soon as I am no longer ill, fate smiles upon me. My wife, Peronelle, is bearing my child. So that is very good news. Very good news indeed. We have visited Châtellerault, but there is no news of any contracts whatsoever. So let's have a quick look. First of all, Peronelle is pregnant, which is great. And let's have a very quick at the city holding and see if there's anything we can purchase. Let's see what the craftsmen are having. There's a spear, which is quite interesting. What am I currently carrying? I have. It's about no. My battle axe is better. Okay, so we don't need that. Well, we're good with the armor and any accessories that are interesting. A crown. I feel like I am not definitely not made to carry a crown. So well, we'll say we'll be fine, I think, without these. So we have reached. We are in Aquitaine, so we may as well move a little further, given that the plague is still raging in the northern lands, and none of the local lords has any gainful employment really. So let's see where we are going to head further from here. As we have made our way to the court of the Duke Guillaume the Eighth of Aquitaine, there are some requests in the area, and after all, I am still a knight errant. So I would be amiss to let these calls go unanswered. So we shall, even though they don't pay an awful lot, we shall travel to make good of the contract that's been offered by Count Fouquet. As we are doing our duties, a little cluster of tents around, and I have a knot of trucker tents. I come across a gaggle of followers having dinner around a small hearth. Curiously, both Daria and Aliken are among them. If you forget Aliken of Brabant, Aliken van Brabant is the spouse of Emmo, our Dutch knight. And Daria has been causing, Daria the villain has been causing trouble in the past. Not the least of which to try to seduce me. She is the mother, however, of Volkart von Nassau, and who is the son of Takulf, one of my older followers. So neither of whom particularly enjoy one another's company. Before I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating, Aliken mutters something inaudible, only for the whisper to send Daria into a blind rage. With a flash, a weapon is drawn, and blood about to be spilled. We shall put a stop to this, but we could also send. We could imprison Daria, because this isn't the first time she's been causing trouble, and probably won't be the last. We are not going to get them to duel to the death. That would be uncalled for. But I think we will intervene for now at the peace of the camp. So we're putting a halt to that affair, and continue on our work here to enforce for Count Fouquet. But we might have to do a bit of a camp revelry once we are finished here, in order to get everybody's minds. Everybody's minds seem to be a little preoccupied with things. Anyway, the lock wagon is completed, which is great, because that was that not in the proving grounds? I thought it was in the. Oh no, that is the log wagon. Okay, that is the log wagon. So this gives us 50% mercenary contract rewards and gets us the Master of Spoils officer, which is super important. I might actually, and I'm not sure where it was. There was the private tents somewhere, but I can't remember which one that was. Let me have a quick look. That is actually something we already have. I missed it completely. I thought I hadn't constructed that yet. Okay, so we already have the private tents on the baggage train, which means we can concentrate on upgrading the proving grounds, which is obviously reducing the cost for recruiting further regiments. So that's the next upgrade we're going to be doing. And we are almost complete here. So we'll probably have a bit of a revelry in the camp once the contract is complete, and then just to get everybody's mood off the last problems that we've been having. So we've excelled at our contract, and that means we can probably get the Count to pay us a bonus, which is what you can do indeed. And we are returning to the capital. Now, has this gotten us further? Yes. So that's definitely improved. So I think we are. That's definitely something we want to do. That leads us north towards Brittany, however. So there's another contract to be completed. So let's see where that emissary wants to go. No, he wanted to go to Spain, which is not where we're going. So let's have a camp revelry as we're here, and get everybody's mood up. I don't think we have the upgrades to. No, we don't have the upgrades to change anything. Anyone we can invite as guest of honor? Not really. Nobody wanting to join our camp, so that's fine. We'll start the revelry as it is. And among my knights and friends, I can't wait for it to start. This is going to hopefully get everybody's mood and get everybody's mood up a little bit. I drink my cup. The drink in my cup trickles away to nothing. The last dreg's drained. We're fresh out, Enguerrand says, but let's live a little. So we're going to lose some stress, which we don't really have any, but this is not so much for me. This is, Edwig of Exeter is one of our knights that we haven't seen an awful lot, is playing the flute here. So my knights are quite fun to be around. Anyway, a furor, my ears pick up, and not that kind, furor. And I swivel to see a couple of my followers engaged in a discussion with a woman stood beside a horse-drawn cart. Only the finest wares, she is proclaiming with a sly smile. Okay, what does she have for sale? She has an Occitan sword, which isn't that great. It is a famed weapon, however. But the amount of prowess that it brings is not really that much. And there's a brooch, I think. I think I'm all good, honestly. My masterwork battle axe is significantly better. No, be gone. These things are overpriced and undervalued. Okay, martial perks available. Now, I do want to, there are a few things I need to do. I do want to get down the strategist path here to upgrade the men-at-arms, but I also want to, since we're having a lot of recruitment to do, probably get the Sir of the Crown first, and that is going to reduce recruitment costs by 10%, which we can, it's not that we're that short on gold, so... And maybe we'll just make our way into the strategist path. What else is down here? This is another 25% for mercenary contracts. So that might actually be a very lucrative path here. This is provisions use minus 20%. That'd also be good, and less casualties. So we do have a few more things potentially towards Gallant, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to have to go down there. This is further reducing the recruitment cost, and this would do that as well. So that's damage and gold rewards. Yeah, this might be given that we'll be having some battles to fight. This might be a good one. However, I'm really looking at improving the value of these. Organized march also gives us 25% travel speed. So okay, we'll go down this path first. Right, but we are still in the middle of having a camp revelry with my knights and the rest of the group. So just up for recreation. The level is carousing level is increasing, and Richard is going up for a friendly competition. Okay. Come on then, you choose the target. Let's shoot. But yeah, I handily beat him at that. And we have gained a favor on Emo after he promised, as he has promised a favor to me, which means I can potentially make him pay that off. There we go. And that was a wonderful revelry indeed. Everybody lost some stress, and we have hopefully gotten the mood down in the camp a little bit from where things were running a little high. Yeah, everyone seems to be rather happy, and we still only have, I think, one child. Yeah, we still only have one child with Volkart von Nassau. No, none of the others. I don't think there's anybody who is unmarried at this point. Yeah, not really. Most of them. Jourdain is ill, unfortunately, but most of them seem to be in fine condition. So let's head north and again help with do good and help the people in need. That's a very low probability of any trouble. So we'll make our way there, and then from there we might head further south. Of course, we shall not desecrate the dead coming by a tomb. Who are we to do so? I do know that we have a legend that we could start, but these cost a lot of money, so we're not doing that yet. However, Perronel has been brave and strong. Words cannot describe. We have a perfect little son. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. Alderic de Villeron is my son. So we have a child. He is still very little, but he is coming after his mother. He's an intelligent little boy. So we shall immediately educate him, and I shall take him under my wing and teach him all I know. So now we actually have, for the first time, I'm not sure where it's succession. There we go. Yeah, we have a player ear. So if Alderic hopefully survives the hardship on the road, then he will be at one point taking over for everything, and well, we will see what kind of legacy we can leave him. So agents done, scheme underway. Yeah, this is just to get the knight errant up, and I think that would be a good thing to do. Proving grounds have been completed. So where was the heavy cavalry? Heavy cavalry damage. It's the nightly barding drills, and that'll unlock the heavy cavalry captain as well. 216 gold is expensive, but we could do that, or the heavy infantry, which is actually giving a lot more. Hang on, what do we have right now? We have the heavy infantry with the huskarls, and we've got the heavy cavalry. So this would give, where is it here? So that's 10% damage and toughness, whereas the other one would improve 30% damage and 20% toughness. I think the personal bouts is probably the first one we want to construct then. All right, that has we have the Master of Spoils now from the Lockwagon actually, and Fine, who's married to Mudan, who we recruited in England, is actually having a pretty good aptitude for that. So she shall be our Master of Spoils. And with that, we can seize the moment And we've done a wonderful job. We do have a long path ahead of us, but once again, actually he can't pay us off, so not making any additional money here. But we'd have two potential requests that we could make for a bit of gold. That might be, or we could ask him for a men-at-arms, but then we would get something random. So I'd rather have something I know what I'm getting. We could ask for a contract, but let's see, what could we get here? He doesn't really have, he doesn't have any gold. Yeah, we could ask for a tournament as well. But I think we're more on the path at this point to to increase the size and quality of our men-at-arms. It has been a year, and we are returning to Aquitaine. It has been a year, and not much has been going on in France. So despite the war against the English raging, it looks like the king, it looks like the king might have died, because King Robert III of France seems to have succeeded him now. And he has some interesting tastes, but he is an honest and brave man. So with that, and of course his wife is a godless blackguard, as usual. So yeah, he seems to have succeeded. He seems to have succeeded the royal line, interestingly. So yeah, not sure what happened to King Philip, but King Robert III is now leading the French. But yeah, with the war raging in the north, I think what we'll do is we'll travel the lands a bit, and maybe we'll travel the lands a bit and see that we can increase our military might quite a little before we return and once again offer our services to the king.